Hi, welcome to another episode of Coffee Break with NCBA, and we're really happy to have you here today. We have Kurt Baese from JST. Welcome, Kurt. Why don't we just start by you telling our listeners a little bit about yourself and your company?
Thanks, Nathan. Yes, it's great to be here. As always, the NCBA is a really important group for JST. So thrilled to be here with you today. I'm Kurt Bays. I'm the president here at JST. We're a software provider, software and solutions provider primarily to law firms that do debt collection, and um, and that's what we do. Hence, why NCBA is such an important group for us. I've been with the company for 27 years. Been in the role of president for about the last 13, 14 years. Really proud to be serving in that role. The company's been around since the mid 80s. We had a DOS-based application. And then right around 2000, we rebuilt from scratch a Windows desktop solution called Collect Max, which we've got a good number of folks within the NCBA organization on our platform today. We're really proud about that. And we're in the process of building a new cloud-based SaaS product called Access. Keep an eye out for news and activity around that new product as well. But that's what we do.
Yeah, no, that sounds exciting. I'm not going to make you think back all the way to the beginning of when you started,
Yep.
but let's think about like in the last 10 years. What would you say some of the changes, challenges that you'd had to address on behalf of your customers, NCBA members, and others?
Yeah. Uh, Great question. A thoughtful question that's probably a good thing for any business to stop and think about. Um, I would start with compliance. Over the last 10 years, compliance requirements have continued to evolve and change, increase. And so a great example of that would be Reg F, right? So Reg F comes along, which actually is a good thing. It kind of gave us something substantial to focus on behalf of our customers. But it was a whale of a project for us to tackle. All the validation stuff, the data, the balances, the dates, et cetera. Not only solving for that, but integrating it into the application that already existed, tying it into all the EDI needs that folks had. And then you had the consumer communication side to it, the 7 and 7 type things. So we had to design and build out a solution to track when folks are communicating with the consumer, when they're allowed to communicate to the consumer, preventing them from reaching out to the consumer when they're not supposed to, tracking right party contacts. All of that was a massive project for us internally. We came up with a solution, really proud of it, but that's a really obvious example of a compliance challenge that we had to tackle. So a lot of compliance related things. Uh, Probably the biggest ongoing challenge that we have as a software provider is the ongoing EDI, creditor forwarder EDI maintenance, and kind of keeping those up to date.
So for folks that don't know what EDI is, sometimes we use all these,
Yeah,
abbreviations. Maybe explain a little bit of what that is, and
sure,
why,
sure.
and how
Yeah,
that ties into the client's needs. Yeah.
sure, Nathan. Yeah, you bet. And it's really like electronic data interchange. It's really communicating, importing, and exporting data files and exchanging them with a vendor, with another entity. And it's really prevalent in our industry for banks, debt buyers, forwarders to send new placements to a law firm electronically. They'll ingest those into their system of record so they can work the accounts. And then they're going to communicate status updates, financial information, et cetera, back to their clients electronically. And so accommodating that as efficiently as we can within our software so that our customers can do the best job they can servicing their clients, is really important. Resource wise, I can't think of a time where we weren't we're not working on 2 or 3 maintenance modification updates to an existing client EDI on behalf of our law firms. And then there's usually a new one that we're building at the same time. So that's just part of what we do. It's an ongoing challenge to be responsive. A lot of testing involved, trying to get the turnaround as quick as we can so that our customers can be competitive. So those EDIs are a big challenge. They're really important to us. One of the things that makes me really excited is when a client calls up and says, "Hey, Kurt, I'm getting business from a new client. I've got a new customer. Do you have an
Right.
interface for them?" We love it when our customers are getting new work. That means they're healthy. We're able to support them, and so the symbiotic relationship kind of takes over from there. So we really strive to have efficient, sound EDI programs for our customers. But that is an ongoing challenge. That's always been a challenge over
Yeah.
the last 20 years. That's an ongoing thing.
So that's information flowing back and forth
Yeah,
between the law firm in this case and the forwarder and possibly the client being the bank or a debt buyer.
yeah,
So there's a
ABC
lot of
Bank. Yeah, yep,
information going back and forth.
yeah,
So, the pandemic really changed the way all businesses work.
yeah,
And
yeah,
especially ours.
yeah,
You know, now people are in remote environments or hybrid environments, or one day they're working in one location that could be in the other side of the world the other day. So how have you
yeah.
been able to keep up with that? Because software is only as good as it works in these different situations, right?
Yeah, yeah. You talk about challenges over the last 10 years. Holy cow, the pandemic came along, and that snuck up on all of us, didn't it? It's hard to
Yeah,
believe it's been over 3 years since that came upon us.
yeah,
Internally, as you're talking about business challenges, we had to navigate that. For the most part, we operated all under one roof. I'm talking about sales, support, development. We were a traditional small business, all coming into the office, and overnight, everybody went home. Uh, but we navigated that really smooth, and I'm so thankful for the staff that we have here at JST. We had tenured, thoughtful, experienced, caring folks, cared about delivering for our customers and taking care of each other. It was kind of a scary time, and so very thankful for the staff that we have here. So we navigated that pretty smooth. So internally, that was a huge challenge, but again, great team here. So we got through that. But at the same time, all of our customers were going through figuring out how in the world they were going to navigate this post-pandemic environment. But prior to that, the advent of these multi-state firms was becoming more and more prevalent, right, within
yeah.
our space. So a lot of people had already been figuring out, hey, I need to have an office. I'm in 5 states. I need an office in 5 states. So a lot of things were already in place to accommodate this remote environment. Um, but we had to make sure that our product could tie into this new ecosystem that our firms would have to build in order to support a remote environment. Honestly, the majority of that burden has fallen on the law firms with their IT teams, their infrastructure, setting things up, whether or not they're setting up a VPN remote desktop style environment, getting a Citrix license in place. A lot of the heavy lifting has fallen on the firms. A lot of cost to that, a lot of maintenance, consultants, et cetera. But that's been part of the burden to run in a remote environment like that. But we kind of fit into that matrix of things that they need to put in place to accommodate that. But fortunately for us, the majority of that burden has fallen on the firms.
Yeah, so obviously that's a huge change, where as
Yeah,
opposed to people just
yeah,
going
and
to
cloud.
one location. Yeah.
Yeah, so the cloud products and cloud solutions uh, solve a lot of those challenges. And so
So
with the
it
advent of
so No, I was gonna say, so is that something that large firms and small firms are looking at, or how is the cloud? So we have multiple states, remote workers, and now you're throwing in the cloud. So how is that changing things, and how is that improving the ability to get this done?
Well, and that's a great question too. And the cloud is a loose term. What really is the cloud? But when it comes to a software application, a true cloud SaaS product, something that is resides in the cloud. So let's start with small firms, for example.
Yeah.
Uh, I I bet on average, it's rare a week comes by where I don't have three people reach out to me, whether that's a combination of current customers or prospects saying we need a cloud solution. It's a great fit for the small firms. And the biggest reason why is small firms, they're not computer experts. They don't know how to set up a server, a network environment. They have to find a consultant, or somebody's brother's brother is an IT guy that comes in and sets their network up. They got Windows operating system updates, and uh, they need to buy, they're told they need a new server. All of these headaches that they have, and that's not what they do. They run a small law firm. They want to do what they got to do. They want to service their clients. A nice cloud solution for them, a SaaS product, solves that for them immediately. All those headaches go away. Small firms love it. They're seeing it with other applications that they use, and they want that for their law firm platform. So great solution for small firms. For the larger firms, it's a little more complex than that. It's challenging for large firms to move to any platform, regardless of what type of platform it is. I mean, they're so busy every day, they don't have time for a migration. They've got all their workflows in place. They've got a large staff to retrain, reestablishing workflows, et cetera. So it's a little more difficult. Larger firms are less nimble to hop over to another platform, like say a small firm. So if a smaller firm is interested in a cloud solution, a pretty smart, easy decision for them to make. Um, and for that reason, we've started building from scratch a new product called Axis. We've been working on it for over 2 years now. We're really excited. We're getting ready to go to market with our base level, what we're calling Essentials, which is a great solution for a smaller law firm to do their legal collections in the cloud. Um, and then now we're starting to build out some more advanced functionality to get to these more advanced firms that have higher level needs, more EDIs, et cetera. But but so the larger firms, they're gonna find the advantages are going to be later on with more API type connectivity that's going to come along. Small firms, great benefit. Get rid of the hardware networking infrastructure. That headache goes away. But what we're going to see, the next generation of software is the benefits of API communication, and that's going to show up with communication between the law firms, their third party vendors. Uh, think about I want to see if a consumer is bankrupt. Today I can go to another website, put the
Mhm.
information in, find out if they're bankrupt, or I can do it in a batch, going back to these EDIs we talked about.
Sure.
But ideally, hit a button, find out immediately if they're bankrupt without even leaving your system of record. Process server serves some papers. They put it in their database. It gets updated into your database. You don't get a daily file that you have to import. So there's a lot of really efficient benefits to API connectivity, and that's something that the larger firms are really going to see the benefit of here in the near future, and that's going to help drive them to make a move to a cloud solution.
Yeah, so that's pretty amazing. It's again how the information is shared and having everything in place to constantly update it. And
Yeah,
again, I guess the cloud can really be a lifesaver of getting that done in a really efficient way.
yeah, yep, for sure.
Yeah.
So we're that's why we're heavily invested in that. We're excited about the direction that that's heading. Yeah.
Yeah, so no, it's been fantastic. So we're getting close to the end of our coffee break time. So I'm going to give you the final word. What would you say if you had to kind of sum it all up of where we are with technology and the cloud and information. What are your thoughts about where we're headed?
Well, my recommendation to the NCBA firms out there, everyone's different, everyone's unique. You know, you can divide it into small and large, but there's a great variation of firms within the organization, and their needs are different. I highly encourage each firm to take a moment and evaluate what type of firm they are. What is the best fit? What makes sense? Um, the solution they have in place now, is that working for them? Where do they see themselves in 5 years? You can't flip a switch and change where you are now to where you want to be. So you want to put a game plan together. Look to your IT staff and look to your software vendors, such as JST or whatever platform that you're on, and reach out to them and talk about where you see yourself in 5 years, and put together a game plan for how you want to get from where you are today to where you want to be in the future. So that would be probably my closing point there, recommendation.
Yeah, no, great advice and a great insight into how important technology is and how it ties into the work that NCBA members are doing. So with that, Kurt, thank you for joining me on a episode of Coffee Break. I look forward. Hopefully, you'll join us again
Yeah,
in the
Nathan,
future.
I have one thing to say about that. Thanks so much. It is Thanksgiving week, and so happy Thanksgiving to you and your family, of course, and to the NCBA family. Again, probably the most important organization that we're affiliated with. You know, it's for obvious reasons, but love the team there and working with them, and so we're very appreciative of our relationship. So, in the spirit of Thanksgiving, I just wanted to end with that.
Well, thank you, Kurt. We are grateful for your support, and
You
you're
bet.
part of the NCBA family as well. So thank you. And with that, happy Thanksgiving.
All right, you too, Nathan. Thank you.
Be well.